This is Shane Vaughn. I haven't talked about him in a while, but let's talk about what he's up to. He is a literal prophet of Trump. I mean, there's an actual full-blown theology behind Donald Trump, and he is one of the theological followers of Trumpism. He's a Christian who believes that Trump is the Son of Man, and he's got a take on Donald Trump's economic policy.
These tariffs, they are not just policy, they are prophecy. You've got to get that deep in your mind tonight, because now that globalism is dead, it is literally Trump against the world.
Look, this guy, he's got like deep problems, but if I had to say one good thing about him, it would be that he knows how to pop his peas.
It is literally Trump.
Top tier. That is top tier popping. I've never seen anybody pop their peas that well. Trump against the world. By the way, the algorithm is hitting me hard right now, completely ignoring me. So I'd appreciate if you watch to the end of the video. Having increased watch time as a percentage and a raw number is what pushes the video further. Also check out my books, owenmorgan.com. All right, back to the video.
Against the world. He has turned the world upside down, and now the nations are clamoring. Everything is unbalanced.
So every time he describes something that Trump is doing, he's relating it or connecting it back to Jesus in some way. The people that killed Jesus, they were hateful and looking for an opportunity to hurt him. And now everybody is clamoring to be part of Jesus' organization and religion and beliefs now, or whatever, That's kind of how he sets things up. Because he thinks he's the Son of Man. Now, I've covered this at length before, so if you're curious, you can just search in my catalog of videos. But the Son of Man, just to kind of give a super basic primer, is a character is a character in biblical history who's supposed to come along and spark Armageddon, supposed to like be a cosmic judge that sets everything right and doles out God's judgment on people or whatever. It's from the Old Testament. And people up to now, Christianity believes that Jesus is the Son of Man. But Jesus died before he could fulfill his role as Son of Man. And everybody was like confused by that. Like, what? Why did he die? He shouldn't be dying right now. So people said, he'll be back. He'll be back. Just wait and see. He'll come back and he'll fulfill his role as Son of Man. That's why Jesus has to return to be the Son of Man. And that's why he brings Armageddon with him. Well, Shane Vaughn believes that Trump is the Son of Man. He believes Jesus is the Son of God and Trump is the Son of Man. So Trump is filling in for Jesus. He's not actually Jesus. He's fulfilling his role. So every time, Shane Vaughn talks about Trump in any way, it's always in some prophetic context, in some way that's linked back to Jesus, in some direct, specific way. So the tariffs are prophetic. And he's not alone, okay? He's not a nobody either. He's very famous. He's very powerful. He's got a lot of money. He is a full-blown televangelist for all intents and purposes.
Everything is unbalanced. And I know mainstream media thinks that's bad, but they couldn't be further from the truth. This is the bold judgments coming up on the world. Yahweh has raised up a man, the breaker himself, to bring to pass those things that must happen in the end time.
Before Armageddon. These things must happen in the end times before Armageddon. Shane Vaughn believed that Trump would not leave office, that Armageddon would come before he left office. And he's got a very detailed, convincing explanation for how Trump can be the Son of Man. Claims that he's Jewish because when some Jews were taken captive in Babylon, some were left behind in Israel, and they traveled up over the Caucasus Mountains and went to the Anglo Isles and to Saxony, and then sailed over to the British Isles and became the Anglo-Saxons, and then sailed over to America and founded America, and Donald Trump is in the mix somewhere. So anyway, middle, we're all Jews. Trump is a Jew. Yeah. Absolutely psychotic, dude. Oh my God, it's crazy. Let's talk about Shane Vaughn, though, for a moment, shall we? Since we're talking about it, we might as well go all the way down the rabbit hole. Hey, you know what? He actually describes, or he explains his theology right here, at least in part. I explained it pretty well. See what he says.
Jewish people are not the same as Israelites. Make a long story short, thousands of years ago, 12 tribes of Israel, 10 of those tribes separated from the 2 tribes. Those 2 tribes are known as the Jewish people. The other 10 tribes known as Israel.
So the 2 tribes he's referring to, the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Judah, they lived in Judea, which was a little tiny country that split off from Israel to the south, and Israel was to the north. So some of this is verified fact, like verified historical fact. Nebuchadnezzar of the Babylonian Empire sweeps in and claims this territory in Israel/Judea area and forces them to pay tribute to him. So they pay tribute for about 4 years, and then they turn on him. Like everybody in this little region in Judea and in Israel, they turn on Nebuchadnezzar, refuse the tribute. He sweeps back in and kills the leader, which was Zechariah, maybe? I don't remember. Kills the leader of Israel/Judah at the time. Judah and Judea are the same place. They just got renamed later. Anyway, he kills the leaders, and he takes a bunch of people from Judea captive, from the tribes of Benjamin and Judah. And the other 10 tribes kind of live to the north in Israel proper.
Israel doesn't live in Israel. Jews lived in Israel. Israel was scattered all over the world, primarily the United States of America, Great Britain.
Yeah, it's just delusion. This is what I'm talking about, where he says they all sailed over to became the Anglo-Saxons, and it's just insane. Insane. But he's not alone. This is not some fringe theory. Well, it is, but it's pretty popular.
And the Commonwealth nations. So who was it that lived at the Gaza Strip? Israel, not Jews. Israel. Now, who is the leader of Israel? Donald Trump.
Because Israel is the people, God's people, and Jews are the people from Judah, and they're not God's people anymore, I guess, in his mind. Absolutely insane. But I am so entertained by it. Oh my God, this dude comes up with absolutely insane excuses too for like ridiculous stuff. This is really funny. Donald Trump did not put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in for his second term.
Melania had that Bible in her hands. Okay? Before Melania could get there with the Bible, Justice Roberts had already started the oath.
Oh my God.
When she got up there, she, who happens to be him because they are one.
Melania was touching the Bible, and by the distributive property, I don't know. What mathematical property are we using that gets Melania touching it to Donald Trump touching it by proxy? What a joke, dude.
She was holding her hand on the Bible. These two shall become one.
Yeah, this is freeze tag rules.
So yes, he did because his wife did, okay?
Oh my God, it's so stupid. I'm so entertained by this shit, man. I'm sorry. Sometimes you gotta have a laugh, right? It's so stupid. All right, here we go. This is Shane Vaughn explaining that he is a cult member. He acknowledges that, but it's the left's fault.
We would never be this defensive of Donald Trump if you would not have forced us into this cult mentality.
God, dude.
Yeah, we would now fight for Donald Trump. Why? We believe in justice. And when we see a man that God's put his hand on being attacked night and day.
Such a victim, huh? Donald Trump is such a victim. Always being attacked night and day for no reason, too. He's such a nice guy. Nice to everybody, never done a single thing wrong. and everybody's just so mean to him. Literally born with a silver spoon in his mouth. One of the richest people on planet Earth. Certainly one of the most powerful people on planet Earth. And he's just so persecuted.
You are forcing us to look like a cult. We're patient and steadfast in our support of a single man. We are cult followers. Yes, we follow a man. Yes, we do. We drank the Kool-Aid and it's orange.
I'm a fan. I love that. That's good. That's a good one. I appreciate that he's self-aware. It's just like really wild to hear a Christian say like this when the Bible explicitly says, watch out for this type of event because people will come and they'll try to deceive you into following false leaders. Remember? Didn't the Bible say that? I feel like it did. I think it did. And here we are with these people literally saying, I follow a man and I am a cult member and I drank the Kool-Aid and it's orange. Just wild, man. As somebody aptly points out, that's your victim story. We're forcing you. Yeah, he's the victim, of course. So stupid. All right, one more for good measure. Let's see what we got. I want to find a good one. Okay, here's another part of the Trump religion right here. Check this out.
God has a plan to bring time to its great culmination. All world events must culminate at the end of time.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Go on.
For that to happen, certain world leaders must be in place. Certain men must be in place to stop a premature Third World War.
So of course, he's saying that Donald Trump needs to be in place to stop World War III, a premature World War III. So World War III is going to happen, but it's going to be instigated by Donald Trump. Is that the word I'm looking for? He's going to start World War III, and it's going to be a holy war ordained by God. Telling you, man, Trump could do literally anything. He could literally walk out on stage and say, I am the Antichrist. And these people, and people like Shane Vaughn, would say, he was joking. He's just telling a joke. You guys don't know how to take jokes. You what, the joke police over here? I don't think that there is literally one single thing that he could do that they wouldn't excuse away.
Why is that? Well, the leader of J.P. Morgan said last week that World War
Oh yeah, I looked this up and he's completely twisting this around.
That World War III has already started with Russia, Ukraine, China. But the problem with that, it's not time yet for World War III.
So he's saying that Donald Trump is going to stop World War III and then start World War III again? Am I reading this correctly? I'm just looking for the exact quote, see if I can get info on it here. Jamie Dimon warns World War III has already begun and poses more of a risk to humanity than climate change. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, this is on India Times, by the way. So is it trustworthy? You tell me. I'm just trying to read the quote. Has issued a serious warning that World War III may already be underway. He points to ongoing wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, as well as increasing cooperation among countries like Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. According to Dimon, these nations are working together to challenge the global system that has existed since the end of World War II. The shift in global power, he suggests, is not just a distant concern, but an urgent crisis unfolding in real time. This is released February 1st, 2025, when this article came out. And I remember when he was talking about this, and the global power to which he's referring is like an order that kind of was created after World War II. European power was crushed because France was dominated by Germany, and many, many, many other European countries were dominated and subsequently destroyed by Germany. Their economies were ravaged and, everything. It was just a total mess. And then Germany was in shambles, of course. So two world powers emerged ultimately. The West, which is the United States and the UK, and everybody allied with the West, which is like France and stuff, and the Soviet Union, and all of the states kind of organized with them. Of course, as we know, the Union collapsed. So the United States and democracy has reigned supreme largely since the end of World War II, in favor of basically dictatorship and fascism. Democracy won out over dictatorship and fascism. That is the global order in place since World War II. And Jamie Dimon is warning that fascism is taking root again in Russia, China, Korea, North Korea, and Iran. Like, they're working together to kind of form out a more powerful fascistic order, if you will. I don't want to use the word world order because that has links to conspiracy theories, but it's the way that the world is like organized structurally, power-wise. Anyway, I don't know if this came out 2025, so I guess Jamie Dimon probably did see this coming, but the United States very clearly siding with Russia and stuff in this whole scenario. I wonder how that factors into his whole equation. The U.S. is tipping the scales of power from the world's scales of power from democracy to dictatorship and fascism. Anyway, that's what he's referring to. Let's keep listening to Shane here.
That World War III has already started.
He has no idea what he's talking about.
With Russia, Ukraine, China. But the problem with that, it's not time yet for World War III.
Like, how do you know when World War III is supposed to be?
Why? Because World War III will bring the return of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, to this planet. But it's a little premature right now. That's about 30 years away.
Interesting. So he believes that Trump is going to take over on behalf of Jesus. I'm wondering why he said Yeshua like that. I mean, was he saying like Yeshua in spirit, or was he just trying to appeal to like a broader audience? Because this is definitely what he believes. I have copious amounts of videos of him talking about it.
So God had to raise up a man that will literally be able to stop the plans of the enemy. When I say the plans of the enemy, I'm referring to the Nephilim spirits that were put in prison during Noah's flood. Their desire...
What? They were imprisoned? I thought they were killed. Isn't that why he flooded the earth in the first place? To kill him? Why would he flood the earth if it wasn't going to kill the Nephilim?
To prematurely hijack the plans of God for the end of time.
Anyway, Shane Vaughn is one of the many people that I believe is so deep in it that there's no emerging for him, ever. He is so deep into this belief system that I believe he would literally kill for Donald Trump. Absolutely insane. Let me know what you think about it in the comments.